Fourth Gate Podcast, Dom Damali here, back with the Pretty Little Liars video of this week. This video is going to be somewhat similar to last week's, just random talk about random things that have things to do with Pretty Little Liars. So, before I really get started in the random BS talk, I want to give a shout out to Jeff H. Hardy 100. He said that I think a video or discussion is needed for those people who still think Mona was the decoy A. Basically, after that, he says, like, come on now, just basically that's not even a fucking thing anymore. I actually have not heard anybody say anything like that they think that Mona, I've heard people theorize before Cece was exposed as A. I've heard people theorize that Mona could be still working with A, for A, could still be in the game. I haven't really heard people say that they still think that she is A or doesn't believe that she was A when she was A. But in my opinion, she was A in season 1 and 2. I really don't see how I could see how somebody could be like, oh, I really don't think she was A, because of what Pretty Little Liars does. They lie. They give us something, they take it away. So I could see somebody thinking that, but in season 1 and season 2, they stayed pretty consistent with Mona. I mean, it was a few things with the whole massage, Lucas giving Emily the massage or whatever. It was a few things that didn't fit, or it was a few things we didn't really believe that she could do, like hit Hannah with the car, like that was supposed to be your friend. But I think they stayed pretty consistent, even when they got into season 3, to where she was still kind of A, but we didn't really know to what extent. I think they stayed pretty consistent with Mona. Even now, they flip-flop her so much, it's like, what the fuck? But even now, she's consistent. Like, her story hasn't changed. She's always been, I was A in the beginning. Someone stole the game from me and Radley. Like, to me, she's always been consistent with that, and they have always been consistent with that. She may have said, she's sorry for something, or I don't know. Even when she said, I killed Bethany because I thought it was Allie and I hated her so much because of this and that, that even goes back to the reason, not necessarily the reason why she was A, but just goes back to her whole story. Allison was a bitch to her. She hated her. So so she tried to get Allison to leave, but to find out she tried to kill her beforehand because she hated her so much. She was probably the person stalking her in the beginning and sending her text messages just to, get her scared. I think it's just that's one thing they've pretty much been consistent with, to me, is the whole Mona being A. Now, getting into the CC and the whoever, the Jenna, whoever else you want to talk about, then we can be like, I'm not sure about this, whatever. But Mona, season 1, 2, and most of 3, they were pretty consistent with her whole thing. Eventually they started flip the fuck flopping, but even when they were flip the fuck flopping, they stayed consistent with she was A in the beginning. They've pretty much always stayed consistent with that. So I don't really see how somebody could just be confused. Like I said, they lie, whatever, but they've been consistent. They've pretty much been consistent with that. So just seeing that hasn't changed. I don't really see how you could believe something different. So I'm co-signing with Jeff on that. That's not really, I don't really see how somebody could think. I don't really understand. So I'm definitely co-signing with him on that. I got on Tumblr earlier today just to look for something that I can sit here and talk about with y'all, and I couldn't find anything. And you know what that said to me? People are fucking done with the bullshit of this show. I remember in past seasons when the summer finale, when any Pretty Little Liars finale, after it, Tumblr would be going crazy with theories and just all types of shit. And it was really nothing. I mean, it was a few people talking about how they were still upset, and very few people talking about the new season. And I just think people are just tired of this fucking show. Like, finally, I've been tired, but I think finally people are really seeing this show for what it is and what it has been. Like I said previously, they have dropped the ball. They really have. And I saw somebody on Tumblr said it's funny how every day Marlene King keeps trying to redeem herself. So I don't know if, because I don't, I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know if on Twitter she's trying to, talk about the plot holes or whatever, or if she's still doing interviews, because I haven't been on top of that. But I guess that's what's going on. She keeps trying to redeem herself, and it's not working. So this person says, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that, but she's trying to redeem herself because she knows she fucked up. I mean, come on now. Usually after finales, she says stuff, but she really doesn't. She basically just teases us for the next season. And after this finale, she's been trying to fucking get her shit together. She's been trying to answer questions about plot holes and all types of shit. So I think that either somebody close to her is telling her, yeah, I think we kind of fucked up on this, or that I think you kind of fucked up on this. Either that's what's going on, or she just really sees how she fucks up. Either somebody close and somebody she trusts has told her that you kind of dropped the ball and she believes them, or she really fucking thinks from the fans that she dropped the ball. Whichever, whatever. She sees that she fucked up and she's trying to redeem herself. I was watching an interview with Courtney Kemp Agba. I think that's her name. She's the executive producer, one of the writers of Power, the show Power, and which I am a fan of. And she was talking about some things that had me think of Pretty Little Liars. She said, hold on, let me go so I can get it exactly right. Hold on. Let me pull up the video. Because she said, even if you don't watch Power, I would recommend watching this interview with Courtney Kemp Agba, because she's an amazing writer, an amazing storyteller, and she builds some amazing arcs. And people can learn from her, i.e. Marlene King. And I think that she was just teaching. The whole time she was talking, she was teaching. And I think everybody who was, in the interview, the interviewers, me, and other people who were watching, we were just taking everything in, Okay, basically I commented on the video and I said this: I absolutely love this. I feel like I learned so much. When she started talking about playing fair with the audience, I immediately thought of Pretty Little Liars. That show has turned to complete shit, because everything Courtney expressed that she would never do: 1, listen to the fans and then change your storyline based on what they say, and 2, writing things that happen off screen. That's exactly where Pretty Little Liars went wrong. Then I said, Marlene King, please take notes. Basically, Courtney expressed that you never listen to the fans on how you do your storyline, because you will end up finding out that the fans liked what you were doing in the first place. So once you change it, you start to fuck shit up. And that's one thing that I think that Pretty Little Liars did, especially with Sarah Harvey. I think that a lot of people were like, what the fuck? Sarah Harvey is a fucking plot hole. You made her fucking relevant, so why the fuck are you not going to explain her? And I think that Marlene King may have listened to the fans for that shit and then changed it. And now look, now everybody hates Sarah Harvey, her storyline, and everything that has something to do with her. And that's just one. They've changed. I feel like they have changed a lot of things. A lot of things just from listening to the fans. And I think that's something that they probably should not have done. And like Courtney said, you never do that. As a writer, you never do that, because you'll end up finding out that your fans liked what you was doing in the first place, and now your shit is all fucked up. basically is what she said. And I think that that's where one place where Pretty Little Liars dropped the ball. 2 is right in things that happen off screen. She says that they call it, her and her other writers or whatever, they call it playing fair with the audience. And she said that's basically where you build things. I don't know if you guys watch Power, but it was a scene where the main male character was sleeping with another woman that wasn't his wife, and it was something about a whale keychain. She gave him the whale keychain, something like that. Later on, the next episode, the same episode, whichever, whatever, he picks up his child. He goes back home with his wife and kids. He picks up his child. He drops the keychain in the child's crib. Maybe a couple episodes later, whatever, the child ends up choking on the keychain. And basically she explained that's playing fair with the audience, that the audience sees how things happen from when he got the keychain to when it ends up fucking him over in the end with, you cheated on your wife, you got this keychain, now your child is choking on the keychain that you got while you was cheating. And she's basically expressed that is playing fair with the audience, which Pretty Little Liars does not always do. Which they barely do. They barely play fair with the audience. Marlene King did an interview answering questions that we should have found out with the show. We should have found out within the episodes. Like, that's not playing fair with us. When you have things happen off screen and you don't explain to us what it is, how it happened, or whatever. She'll have something happen, and then in the next episode something else will happen, but we don't know what happened in between. You know what I'm saying? And Courtney was just saying that we like to she didn't say that anything was wrong with that, but she said that we as a show, as writers, like to play fair with our audience, because she said the fans like it better when you play fair. The fans like it when you can see the story play out on screen, rather than have something happen a couple of episodes later, have something else happen that is supposedly connected to that first thing that happened, but you don't see what happens in between. And then the writers are trying to tell you, well, this is what happened, but it's like, you didn't show us. You had that happen off screen, so now we're sitting over here looking stupid, like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So just that there, her saying that, I was like, wow, that is exactly where Marlene King, those other writers, ABC Family, that's where they've fucking dropped the ball. They've dropped the ball in a lot of places, but that there, I mean, that's why we have a lot of plot holes. That's why she's had to do these interviews and explain, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is who did this. But it's like, if you would have just played fair with us the whole time and showed us, you didn't have to show us every single thing, but look at how many fucking plot holes there are. There are like 2,000 plot holes. If you would have showed us at least half of the 2,000 plot holes, if you would have played fair with us and showed us how that shit would have happened, you wouldn't have as many plot holes. We wouldn't be as mad. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, y'all, the interview is with AfterBuzz. I don't watch the Pretty Little Liars AfterBuzz. I can't get down with those girls. I mean, they're beautiful, they're smart, but I just can't. A lot of stuff that they talk about is like, what for me? But I do watch Power on AfterBuzz TV, and this certain episode is called Power Season 2 Post-Season Special with Courtney Kip Agba, AfterBuzz TV. So y'all can go ahead and check that out. I recommend it. She is a writer of a different show, but the things that she was talking about, I saw where Pretty Little Liars have fucked up, basically. So yeah, I just recommend it. Y'all go check it out. I'm not gonna talk y'all to death like I did last week. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like Jeff did, y'all can leave down below what y'all want me to talk about, and I will talk about it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it has something to do with this show, another show, a theory, music, sports, what's going on in the world. I will talk about it, whatever it is. Peace. Oh yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You were tuning into Fourth Gate Podcast with Dom Damali.